we're in the spring season. So it's the top 5 things spring sellers in Real Sparks need to know right this second if you want to sell in 2025. Ready?
Oh, that's great.
All right, so the first thing is, and this is a very obvious one, but you have to say it, hire a trusted advisor and do a walkthrough at home. So tell us a little bit about that.
It's always hire a trusted advisor, right? Somebody that you know, like, and trust, because they're going to work in your best interest and also potentially know the market because they're close to you. They live in your neighborhood, or somebody that you really know, somebody knows the house. Yeah, that really, really helps. So
yeah, so we talked about this.
Yeah, just don't, we are posting this on YouTube, but don't pick a random guy from YouTube that you don't know, or especially just somebody like on some Zillow agent,
right,
or somebody that you know.
Professional, that is full-time. A question you should be asking, is this your full-time profession?
Yeah. How many years of experience?
How many years? How many houses you sold?
Yeah.
Make sure you do a little research. Google. And use AI. Like type in top realtor in South Reno or top 5 realtors. Find someone, and then the biggest thing is make sure your personality matches. Because obviously you want someone that's going to match who you are and what you want.
What you believe
But
in.
do your homework. Yeah. It's like when you buy a car or anything in life. Do a little homework. I think that 2 of the best agents in Reno are right here, but you can make your own decision. Google us, check us out. We'd love to work with you and earn your business. The other thing, last thing is, if you have an agent that doesn't have a listing presentation that goes in there that has a presentation for you to show you what's going on in the market, what they do, specifically what makes them unique, I think that's a big red flag. So make sure you have someone that does that. All right.
Right.
So if you're a spring seller, here are the top 5 things you need to know right this second in Real Sparks. Number 2, you ready? She just did this for her client. It's called Declutter Garage Sale Reno Consignment. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so once we get the listing signed, we walk through the house, right? We walk through the house, and then with the experience, we kind of share. We go room by room and share what needs to be done. So we understand your emotions. So we'd like to keep some stuff that is emotional to you, maybe move into the garage, but we will advise you on what to declutter, and then make piles for donation, and then set up a garage sale. We were able to help the seller do like this massive garage sale so we could sell all the old stuff. And also we called the Reno Consignment Center only because they had this big, beautiful furniture that they were not going to take with them. So doing that helps clean up the house and sets the stage for us to list.
And we'll talk about this in a second, but most agents, like we have a person within our company that helps stage. We'll talk about that. So that person probably should be at the walkthrough with you when you walk through it. Maybe not the first time, but immediately after, right?
At a later date, yes.
So once you kind of talk about you bring in one of these gals who's tremendous.
Yes.
And usually, if you use us, that's probably included in our fee. And then she gives you ideas and things you can do.
Yes. So the next step would be the pre-inspections.
Right.
I like to do the pre-inspections for all my sellers, especially if they're a little bit older properties. We just want to make sure that the offer doesn't fall through because of some repair that the seller did not know. So I get the pre-inspection done. It just takes a couple of hours.
And this is number 3, by the way.
Yeah.
This is the 3rd reason.
Yes. So a couple of hours, and then maybe $400 to $600 based on the square footage. So we do the pre-inspections, and we get that report, and then get everything fixed, like all the small repairs that come in the report. So that's a good way to prep a home to sell.
Right. So I like to opine on that. So especially if it's an older house.
Yeah.
And if you're an older person, you probably haven't been on your roof in a while. You probably haven't been under your house in a while. You probably haven't been in your attic. So those are all areas that can potentially be big problems. And you don't want to find out in the middle. So in the middle of a contract where the days are short, because then you're giving out money. Because the buyer's like, oh, and especially in this market, high rates, high anxiety. If you don't have all this stuff figured out ahead of time, and then it comes up it's going to go back on the market more than likely.
Yeah, and then these are big transactions. Potentially the seller is selling and they have other plans. They are like putting a contingent offer to buy another house, or
Excellent.
you're moving somewhere. So you want to make sure that your ground is covered. You know for sure once you're in contract, you're selling this and you're not like coming back on market because of some repairs.
Right.
Right.
And
So
at that point, you can either repair it, make sure you use a professional too. A lot of people have unlicensed handyman come in and do stuff. Most buyers want to know who did it and if they have a license, because then they have some recourse if something happens.
something happened, yeah.
I mean, obviously, if someone's like pulling sagebrush or something, that's something else. But typically, we have to use people who are licensed, and any prospective buyer is going to want to know that. So,
Yep.
all right, and then the last thing on that, I like to point out, because sellers are shocked when this happens.
Yeah.
I had a home inspection done. Here it is, buyer. And then the buyer ends up hiring another inspector. So don't be offended just because they don't know who you are and they don't want any belief that you. I mean, we wouldn't do this, but we hire a third party person that we have no real. They're not getting a kickback from us. They're just doing the inspection. But a lot of buyers want to have their own person do it. So don't be offended or don't think that's a problem, right?
Correct, yeah.
I get a lot of buyers,
We are
a lot
just
of
doing
sellers.
our due diligence to make sure the process is really smooth.
And that helps you fill out the SRPD too. So that gives you some basis on when you're filling out what's called the Seller's Real Property Disclosure Form, required under the NRS 116 to fill out. So it's a good thing to do. All right, number 4. So we're talking, hold on, don't cut me off. Sorry.
It's my favorite part.
Top 5 things sellers in Reno Sparks need to know right now. Because we got to break these up and do some. It's our favorite part. So what is it? Number 4. It's
favorite part. It's bringing in a stager and taking the pictures and the videos.
And you're doing that today, right?
Media. Yes, for one of the listings we're doing that today. So we bring in a stager only because we definitely want to enhance, that listing. Make sure the first impression is right. So if anything needs to be done, sometimes we move things around with the existing furniture. Sometimes we take everything out, put it in the garage, and then bring in all new furniture. But staging really helps. That's my favorite part here. And then, of course, once we stage, then we bring in our photographer. We do drone photography. We do the videos. We do fun social stuff. We do all kinds of marketing with it. So it's my favorite part to market.
And you can see that she's very excited about this and passionate. So photos, yeah. So obviously, if you have an agent doing iPhone photos, if you're not having the best pros come in and make the house, it makes a huge difference, especially with all the stuff they can do. So hire a professional on that. Obviously, that should probably be included in your package that's why you're paying a realtor commission. It should probably be included in that. And obviously, it's negotiable. But another thing about stagers is typically the first visit, at least in our business, is covered. And then if you wanted to go above, just keep in mind that typically speaking, that's out of pocket for the sellers. I just want to get that out there. So if they want to move furniture and do all this other stuff that's above and beyond the first visit, that's yours. So, all right, so top 5 things your spring sellers need to know in Reno Sparks now. And the last one's the most important thing.
The most important.
What is it?
Pricing.
We talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
Go about do your little
So no
discussion.
matter what you do, right, you follow all the above 4 steps. You have done the cleaning, you've staged the home, we have marketed it, but if you don't price it correctly, you're not getting that offer. And you really don't want your home to sit on the market when you have done so much to the house and you really need to sell. So pricing is the key. The market will tell you, as a listing agent, we will tell you where we can get an offer. But if you think because we've done all these things that you really want to price it a little bit higher, not that the home shows well, but that's not what we are trying to do. We're trying to make sure the first impression is right and we are priced right so we can get you that offer.
Yeah, so most important thing, it's the biggest challenge that we face as listing agents, in my opinion, is everyone loves everything and then they get to this final stage and they price it wrong.
Yeah.
And pricing it wrong is a horrible idea.
Yes.
And like we said, the average house right now is on the market for 14 days. Now, your realtor should be able to pull comps for your specific area.
Yes, because
it does vary.
Vary with the neighborhood.
If you get in the $1 million to $2 million, $3 million, some of those houses are on the market way more than 14. So don't 14 is just an estimate. I was helping someone out in Wingfield Springs. In this neighborhood, houses were on the market for 90 to 120 days because you have a higher price, different area. So.
Yeah. And then we'll bring in that net sheet. We will already tell you what your net is going to be with the house. So don't I have this, they'll come back and say, hey, what if we list here and then they want to offer a little bit less? So let's list a little bit higher, right? You get that all the time.
Yes.
But we'll already educate you, let's price it right so we can get the right offer, and this is how much your net is going to look like. So you really don't have to worry about dropping the price because you think somebody is going to offer at a lower price. But even for that reason, you don't want to list the home a little bit higher. I mean, I've done that in a couple of situations because the situation was different in the sense that we knew that was going to happen. But that's why we come into picture, right? We know what the market today is doing, and as listing agents, we also work on the buyer side. So we know what kind of offers your listing is going to get. So we'll prep you in a way on where to price it, depending on, today's market. Today's market, the interest rates are high. Yes. So maybe they'll ask for seller credit. So we'll already tell you the kind of offer you're going to receive and what your net is going to be.
Well, that's why you do a free home inspection too. Because you may need to have a little higher price or something where you need to offer credit to fix this. Because obviously, if it's a big deal, when you're come up with a repair that you may not, flooring's a pretty good example that I run across a lot. Yeah. Dated flooring. You typically as a seller don't want to go in there and spend $20,000. Maybe you give a credit and you adjust your price.
Scratches, the pet scratches that you could do something about when it comes to the flooring. So.
All right. Well, if you have any questions, if you're out there and you see this video, we'd like to ask you, what is your tip? What do you think? Give us some feedback. Let us know what your biggest concern is as a seller. We'd like to know in the comments below. Like our videos, give us a thumbs up. Share this video, and either one of us would like to earn your business. We're going to be at open house this weekend in Field Creek. Check us out. We'll be on social media, and we look forward to earning your business.
Hope that helps. Thank you so much.
Take care.